Boys, how was your Valentine's Day?
Go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say, Chris is going to be way more interesting than mine based on his just laughing reaction. It was lovely. It was lovely. Not a huge fan of the Monday night Valentine's Day, but, worked out fine the day after the Super Bowl. Went out to dinner from Mount Washington here in Pittsburgh, had a wonderful dinner at Monterey Bay. And yeah, it was a nice little evening. Nice little evening. How about you guys?
There is, you got to understand, there is no Valentine's Day in my position right now. Like I cooked the girls dinner on Sunday before the Super Bowl. So that was kind of like part of it. But when you have a 3-week-old and an 18-month-old and you're in a pandemic, there is no Valentine's Day.
Chris, the pandemic's over. What are you talking about? I don't know if you saw the news. Edie, what about you?
I almost forgot that it was Valentine's Day. Like,
Ooh.
I must say.
Have you been married long enough to be allowed to use that? Have you been married long enough for that?
Listen, we both almost forgot it was Valentine's Day. I'm not the only one who almost forgot it was Valentine's Day, but I rallied the troops. Having the Super Bowl be the day before Valentine's Day is tough because usually on Valentine's Day, like, either we'll go out to eat or I'll like make something special or something like that. But when you already have just like the day before, like destroyed your body with like wings and pizza and beer and all this other junk, you're not thinking about the meal for Valentine's Day that you plan out because you already planned out the Super Bowl meal. Like,
right.
We both almost forgot, but we came through. I came through with the chocolates, and Siobhan came through with literally the best Valentine's Day gift after Florida Man, the weirdest and wildest adventures of an internet legend. It is a book.
That's amazing.
Every day it goes through and tells you my favorite subject, what Florida Man is doing. February 15th, fellas, Florida Man claiming people were eating his brains leads police on insane golf course chase. You're welcome. Florida Man. Get it at your Barnes & Noble.
That's an incredible gift. Shouts out to your wife for finding that. I had no idea that even existed, but that's the gift that keeps on giving. It truly is.
Seriously. All year. And for the rest of my life. I'm not going to look at it every day. I'm going to be surprised all the time.
Right.
And it's going to make you feel better about you. Because you're not living any of those situations.
Wow. Chris Gates Fitness. Dude, you're the king of positivity and like self-help and self-care. This book right here, this is self-care. I didn't think about that. This is good.
It is. I should buy that and do one TikTok a day where I do a live read of shit you're not going through. So cheer up.
Yeah. It could always be worse. There's your subtitle of the book.
Well, happy Valentine's Day, guys. You guys look cute. I love you. Welcome to the Brunch Breakdown. It's Dee out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh. And today on the show, we've got a lot to get to. We're going to get to all of it. Super Bowl. We got commercials. We got a halftime show. And we got the Winter Olympics. We've got, a nice question about the Super Bowl and the Winter Olympics. And we'll talk Manning cast and what we're listening to. So let's get it started. Dan, let us know where we can find the Brunch Breakdown. Well, we know where they can find the Brunch Breakdown.
Yeah, tell the people, right? We got to tell the people. I should do this like The Rock introduced the Super Bowl, right?
My God.
We just
Can we get your 30-second review on that? Are we going to get that later?
We'll get that. We're going to touch on the Super Bowl. We will certainly.
Dan has an outline. You can't rush it. We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. My apologies for trying to rush it.
We'll have to get to today, but thank you. Yes. But where can you find the Brunch Breakdown? Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find the Brunch Breakdown. Apple, Spotify, Google, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Now on Amazon Music and Audible. Just tell Alexa, play the Brunch Breakdown, damn it. She'll play that next episode for you. New episodes every Thursday morning. Hit follow, hit subscribe. Let those episodes come to your devices. Download them, take them on the go, however you want to listen to them. Full video episodes also available every Thursday on YouTube and our Facebook pages. Simply search Brunch Breakdown. We'll take you there. They premiere at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, and available on demand anytime you want to watch them after that. Speaking of Facebook, we're everywhere on social media as well. Twitter, Instagram, Triller, TikTok, simply by searching at Brunch Breakdown. And last, but certainly not least, on Spotify, the What We Are Listening To playlist that we put together for you each and every week called The Sounds of Brunch. Brand new updates every Friday on Spotify. Simply search Sounds of Brunch.
Beautiful. Well, guys, I want to switch things up this week because of something that a person told me. I'll tell you after the show. And they said we should do Get It Off Your Chest before Brews Day. So we're going to see how this goes. So, Chris, you weren't here last week. Get it off your chest.
Okay. In honor of a sports brunch episode that we are kicking off. Hey, sports metaphor. I'm going to dive into a sports topic that's not on the menu and wouldn't get talked about had we not done this first. There are situations in life, all facets of life, where you have to just like see the writing on the wall and just accept the fact when, like, you know what you're trying to do, it's just not working, and give up. It's okay to give up. It's okay to give up if you've given something an honest try and you just don't have the talent, expertise, or wherewithal to do it. I think that's fair to say. There's nothing wrong with that. There's something wrong with not trying. There is nothing wrong with trying, sucking, and giving up. Okay. There no longer needs to be a hockey team in Arizona. Have you guys seen where they're going to play hockey next year? The Arizona Coyotes, if you haven't followed this shit over the last like 15 years, nobody in Arizona wants them there. Nobody goes to the games. Like the state government doesn't want them there. They were like the Phoenix Coyotes, but Phoenix didn't want them. So then they called them the Arizona Coyotes. Now we're finding out the entire state of Arizona doesn't want them. They don't even have an arena anymore. They're going to play this is a professional sports franchise is going to play its home games in a college arena that hasn't even been built yet, but from the looks of it, seats like 7,000 people. What are we doing? What are we doing anymore? We don't need hockey in the desert. I don't know why that got me so fired up this week, but I'm just like, we're talking about this again? As somebody who follows hockey closely, we've been doing this since I was in high school. It has to stop. It's over. It's over. You can't play. Even the Islanders, who like didn't have a home, they like found a real arena. They played where an NBA team was for a while, and then they got their arena back. And the arena they're moving to is like 13,000. This is like half the size of that. It's ridiculous. There shouldn't be hockey in Arizona anymore. Like, we tried, we gave it an honest go, and nobody wants it. It sucks. So just give up, move the team, take them back to like Hartford or something. I don't know. This experiment has to end.
I am with you.
Yes. Save the Coyotes. # save Phil Kessel. All for that. It is. It's ridiculous. What they're playing there for at least 3 years, they said. That's like the plan, to play at this college venue while they hope to work out this deal for a new arena, and which, like you said, isn't happening. Get them out of there. Get them to a state and a city that will appreciate them. You gave it a try. You gave it a long try.
The thing that's wild about this is that I remember, what was it? It was just a few months ago that they were like, they hadn't paid their lease. So they were like, so they couldn't get into the building. And I thought that was like the craziest thing, but I was like, oh, that'll all get worked out, whatever. No, it didn't get worked out. They actually weren't paying their lease, and now they got booted to a college campus.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Incredible. It is
incredible.
Ridiculous. It has to stop.
Good Lord. I love it. Dan, actually, I'm gonna go because mine actually is, because we didn't choreograph this or put this all together, but mine is basically the same thing. Okay. Cities shouldn't have two of the same team, like same teams in the same league. They shouldn't. There shouldn't be the Dodgers and the Angels. There shouldn't be the Chargers and the Rams. And I'm saying this because the Rams just won the Super Bowl and there are no Chargers fans. Like, I hate when people say this, when people say things like this, but now that I live in a city where there are two teams, I understand it now. There are no Chargers fans. They don't exist. They don't exist in San Diego. They definitely don't exist in Los Angeles. And now the Rams are the champs. They are now Super Bowl champions. They have all the stars, all the things. It's like a Laker game going to a Rams game now. And the Chargers will no longer exist. Like, they existed a little bit without the Super Bowl. Now that they have a Super Bowl, they're the new Dodgers. They're the Lakers. That's what they are. Because the Clippers, they're getting ready to put the new stadium next to where the Rams stadium is. No one's going to go after the first year, because everybody loves the new stadium after the first year. It's great, right? No one's gonna go after that. So, and the Angels, they're out and they have the best players in baseball, and no one cares out there in Orange County, as they call themselves the LA Angels, and they're like an hour away from Los Angeles. But yeah, no one cares about them either. But I'm telling you, spread the wealth. No one needs them, because once these teams win championships, as they have in LA, no one cares about the other teams anymore. Like, the other teams are now there just to go see, hey, I can't see Steph Curry play the Lakers. That's too expensive, but I can go see him play the Clippers. That's what those teams turn into. It's like, who's playing there tonight? Dame Lillard? I'm there. That's what it turns into. So, yeah, spread the wealth. There are other cities that need teams. Like, I love Los Angeles, major market, millions of people, but like, we don't need, nobody needs two teams. Just doesn't. Get that off my chest.
That's beautifully said. I completely agree with you. I've never liked that to begin with, but you're right. It's getting worse. And you have a prime example right there in Los Angeles with the quote unquote Chargers fans and the Rams now. And it's just, I hope that's not going to continue to happen. I hope we don't see more of that in an effort to save money. We're sharing stadiums and that type of garbage. So I'm a big fan of what you just said.
The weirdest one of those to me is like, why does Chicago have two baseball teams?
Completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary.
Like, the Cubs have all this history and like the cool old ballpark, and then there's like the White Sox exist.
Dude, I'm telling you, I used to think that I understood it until just living in Los Angeles the last 3 years and being like, wow, we have these three teams just won championships. No one gives a shit about the other teams at all. Like, at all. And it's wild. And I'm like, it's like Yankees and Mets. Like, I know there are Mets fans, but like, I don't know. Spread the wealth.
When one of them is doing poorly, it's very clear. It's very clear when one of them is doing poorly.
Shit. I mean, like, almost every team in New York right now is not all that great. Imagine having all those teams and none of them win anything.
I love it. All right. For me this week, I'm taking a left turn. I know we're at Sports Brunch, but this is something topical that came up and I have to talk about it. And this is going to hurt me a lot more than it's going to hurt one of you. I'm talking to you, Didi.
Oh, Jesus.
Kanye West.
Oh,
delete your account right now. Right now. Okay. So I made a note. I was going to talk about this last week, almost a week ago. I knew what I wanted to talk about. And then this weekend, I've been given so much more and more reason why the statement that I say here it has more meaning for Kanye West to delete your account. What I'm going to talk about is what did happen last week, where Kanye West claims that Billie Eilish insulted Travis Scott at her show in Atlanta, saying something about that she, a fan was having an asthma attack and she waits for her fans to be okay before she continues to play. And he took that as a direct shot at Travis Scott and has said he is going to boycott Coachella, not play Coachella until she apologizes. Yee, I love you. I think Donda is a masterpiece, one of the best albums last year, period. But Coachella doesn't need you. Coachella goes on without you. Okay. Didi, now we know why Swedish House Mafia is just floating at the bottom of that poster. They're just ready to fill in that headliner spot if and when Kanye decides to not show up. Now it makes complete sense. It just hit me. We're like, when are they playing? What day? Where? Why? How is this going to work? They're just there ready to be Sunday's headliner if and when Kanye is not showing up. It makes perfect sense now. And I'm not saying all this just because it's, Billie Eilish and I'm a huge Billie Eilish fan. I'd honestly say the same thing as if he was going after Harry Styles, who I really don't care super much about. Really be anybody. It's just the fact that Kanye thinks he's better than Coachella. And I take that as a personal attack because I feel like Coachella is a part of me. And Coachella will go on with or without Kanye West. I want him there. He has full intentions of bringing out Travis Scott. Thanks for ruining that surprise. So we will see then, but Kanye, just settle down. You clearly lost your mind a little bit this weekend. We won't get into that. I won't get into that, but it's just time to delete your account. That's all I got to say. I'm sorry.
Everything you're saying is very, very accurate. And also, as a Kanye West fan, I have been, ever since they announced he was going to be at Coachella, I've thought to myself, is he really? We'll see. If he's there, I'll be there. Whether he performs or not. And on Sunday, I'll be excited. But yeah, you just never know with Kanye. It's one of those things. You never know.
Yeah. Always that slight bit of doubt, right? Slight bit, but now it's becoming more and more clear. And then the Swedish House Mafia thing just clicked. It all just made a bunch of sense when I saw that. I thought, okay, they're prepared. They're ready. And now we're ready.
Oh, Kanye. God. All right.
I like this idea of doing the chest before. I'm assuming the reason it was suggested to us is like, we get all this stuff off our chest. Now it's time for a beer. Like it flows. It works. So shouts for the suggestion. Let's crack these bad boys open now, huh? I'm ready.
That is exactly it, actually. Exactly it. Exactly
it.
All right. Well, it's Brews Day, gentlemen. Let's jump into some brews. Chris, what are you sipping on today?
I am sipping on a beer that was a gift from my sister. She came in last week to meet our new baby girl and brought presents. And what Jeannie brought was Guinness IPA, which I did not know existed. And apparently I'm probably going to screw this up, but like at least 70% of what I'm saying is factual. Like there's only a few Guinness breweries in the world. And apparently there is a spot in Baltimore, which like might be the only one in the United States. And I guess that's like the only place you can get this Guinness IPA. Now I will say I've had one already. I was a little bit skeptical because I've had some, now Guinness is obviously Irish, right? I've had some German IPAs where I was going into it thinking like, I like IPAs, so let's have this. And German IPAs are really not like the IPAs I think we tend to enjoy. But this one is pretty darn good. It's more, I would say it's like kind of like a bridges the gap between what we have most often here, like that German IPA. This is kind of in the middle. It's not super flavorful, but it does have a nice bit of bitterness to it. And it's got, if I look at the hops, like it's got some of the hops that we talk about a lot on this podcast, like Simcoe, Mosaic hops. It's got some citrus fruit in it, a little bit piney. But I really enjoyed it. It was a pleasant surprise. Thank you, Jeannie, for the beers. I enjoyed one when my kids weren't crying, and I'm going to have the second one right now while my kids aren't crying, and we'll see how it works out.
I didn't know that Guinness made IPAs. What's the ABV on that?
I think it's pretty light because I actually looked up I don't know if it says, but I looked up the calories. 6.5. Yeah, because the calories are actually like shockingly low for a 16-ounce IPA. It's like just over 200 calories for the can, which is pretty good. So 6.5.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, that's a new one. All right, Didi, what are you
All right.
sipping on this week?
This week, I've got a Maui Wowie IPA
Ooh.
from Beer Works in Livermore, California. It's got all the things that Chris was just talking about. Mosaic hops. Of course, we love Mosaic hops here. Mosaic hops are a sponsor of the Brunch Breakdown. Citra hops. We've got all the aromas and flavors. Pineapple, mango. I've had this one before. And I've had one earlier this week, and it is very good, gentlemen. Very, very good, gentlemen. I mean, you know I love my pineapple, right? You guys
It's a
know I love my
requirement.
pineapple.
It's a requirement.
Yeah. Gotta be in
And,
there.
I mean, if it's not in there, what's the point? And
What are
this
we
is
wasting
just
our time for.
super good. And it just, the ABV 6.5, which is great because I was nervous about it, but it is nice. And it just feels like I could drink this, I don't know, on the beach or with a nice view. I want a nice view.
Shame you can't find any of those.
Yeah, dude, you're not in West Virginia.
You asshole.
Listen, guys.
He's like, I could just open up the door and there it is.
Listen, guys, just because I have a palm tree in my backyard, doesn't mean I like to say it all the time to you guys, just because it's a little chilly out. 65 degrees outside today. I don't know.
Well, I mean that big heat wave of 80 from Super Bowl Sunday burned off pretty quickly, didn't it? Back to sweater season.
Hey, it was sprinkling this morning on my way to take my daughter to preschool. So I'm going to need you to have some, literally, we'll accept your prayers. We need them out here.
Yeah. State of emergency. You in Canada, same shoes. T's and P's. All right. This week I've got something that I had on Super Bowl Sunday because it was that damn good and I had to share it with the people. I have another one, and what I have for you today, it's a heavy hitter. And ladies and gentlemen, introduce from Thin Man Brewery of Buffalo, the Peanut Butter Jenkins Imperial Stout. And yes, shouts out to former podcast friend Brendan Jenkins, formerly known as The Legend. He had nothing to do with this, but it's got his name on it. And that was enough of a reason to pick it up, to give it a shot. And I'll tell you what, this is so damn good. I had one of these while watching the Super Bowl. Like I said, got another one here today. I'm glad we picked up the 4-pack. Boys, liquid Reese's peanut butter cups right there for you. You get a ton of peanut butter, a ton of chocolate. It's a little roasty. It's nutty. It is sweet. I will warn you, it is sweet. But I think if you're prepared for that, you're capable of handling it because the flavors are so intense and so powerful in so many good ways. The ABV is on the little higher end, but that's quite all right. That's quite all right because it is well worth this beautiful peanut butter Jenkins. So if you can get your hand on this, again, this isn't a Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania. This is a Thin Man out of Buffalo, the peanut butter Jenkins, and it is all sorts of delicious. Let me tell you.
Nice. That sounds good.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
All for it.
It's a wonderful week for desserts. So this will go with all of them.
Well, cheers, gents.
Cheers.
Happy Brews Day. All right, let's get into the main course. Now that we got our brews, we got everything off our chest, it's time to dive into the main menu, the Super Bowl. A lot to get to with the Super Bowl, and the most important thing is the halftime show. Guys, what are your thoughts on the halftime show? Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Mary J, Fatty Cent, everybody.
Yeah, 250 Cent. That was a huge surprise. We saw him at Coachella a few years ago. We noticed he put on a few pounds and he didn't stop since then, whatever year that was. Anderson .Paak with a surprise that I don't think a lot of people caught, right? That was awesome. He was up there too. I thought musically it was one of, if not the best halftime shows we've ever seen. It was amazing. I thought the transitions were really smooth. You had everybody coming out swinging strong with their heads. Everybody sounded really good. From a stage setup theatrical standpoint, I wasn't like super in love with the kind of house party, different room vibe. And I felt like if you were on the other side of the stadium, you were probably pretty pissed because you couldn't see much. If you were there, you had to watch it on the screen the whole time. Like I got it. It made sense. But I wasn't super thrilled with the stage setup, but the performances overall were amazing. I thought when they were coming together on the roof at the end, we were going to get some sort of moment where all of them were going to collaborate. Obviously they're not on a song together, but I thought there could have been a moment where they did something, a little bit of back and forth. It was like a little tease. We never got it. I'm okay with that still. I realize that would have been a little bit difficult because everybody has their hits. Who's are you going to use? How are you going to get everybody involved? All those voices, but NFL, take note. You finally got it right. You got it right for us, for the people that watch these things, that take interest, and good luck living up to that for years to come, because that was amazing.
Yeah, I loved it. You guys have so much more like thoughtful feedback on musical performances than I do. And like, even afterwards, I mean, it's a yearly tradition for me to like watch the halftime show and then go on social media and find out all kinds of shit that apparently I didn't see or didn't think about. So like, I just thought it was really good. Like, they were all artists that I loved. Although like, this is probably unpopular, but like, I feel like Kendrick didn't make sense being there with all these other kind of throwback artists. I thought that was weird. Not that he's bad or that his performance was bad. His performance was great, but it's just like, I don't know. That didn't seem to fit, but I thought it was really good. And stop body shaming 50 Cent, people. Goodness gracious. A lot of people would love to be as jacked as he is, even if he has put on a few LBs. Okay. So chill out.
I would expect nothing more from chrisgatesfitness.com than to have body positivity from 50 Cent. It was just so funny to do that with him, where he could have if he would have just came out and performed in the club, right? He could have popped up from anywhere. But the fact that it just made you remember the first time most likely the first time you saw 50 Cent was upside down, jacked, looking like this monster that Dr. Dre and Eminem had created in a lab. And then 20 years later, he's doing the same thing. And you're like, yo, man, you need to get down. Like,
that guy's lived a life. Okay. He's allowed to have some indulgences. He's earned it.
That is very true. But yeah, I love the halftime show too. I was happy because I was a person who was from jump was like, I don't know why Kendrick's here. I guess, for the younger audience that's watching, it's like, okay, Kendrick's the person that they're going to be watching this for. But it's like, you didn't need him. And what he did was fine, because it wasn't, I was nervous that Kendrick was going to like read a poem or do something weird. But no, he performed We're Gonna Be All Right, and that was awesome. And I just, and I liked it a lot. But it was kind of like, I would have liked to heard like, What's My Name, like Doggy Style from Snoop Dogg. I would have liked to heard that, something from like the early 90s. But that's my only complaint. That's me nitpicking. I thought it was cool. The Anderson .Paak was playing the drums for Eminem on Lose Yourself. Like, they didn't waste a second. Like, that was the coolest part of this whole thing, was like, this was like meticulously put down. Like, we are not wasting a minute. Like, I remember when Justin Timberlake did the halftime show and he performed like Filthy to start the show. And that was his like new single that just came out a month before, and no one really liked it. And that's how it started. And I was like, what? Why are you wasting time with this? What are we doing here? This is the halftime show. So I like that. And but yeah, and also it was just cool to see a lot of these artists that my parents told me that they were like the worst thing in the world and they were going to kill society, and that every person was like, if you listen to rap music, you're this kind of person and you're going to be a terrible human when you're growing up. To see all these artists that everybody just, they were like, people were in the streets like protesting and destroying Snoop CDs because he was like the worst person on earth in the 90s. And like, to see them on the biggest stage in America, the biggest stage in the world is the Super Bowl, over 100 million viewers and all that. was just like really cool for me to see, because it was so like, you weren't supposed to listen to rap music in the 90s, and then 20 years later, 30 years later, we're all jamming and loving it in the Super Bowl. I feel like it really brought a big part of America together.
Well, same with Dre, right? Dre was they banned his music in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good point. Yeah, there was something cool about like when Snoop was kind of like crip walking across the stage at the beginning, and there was like a broadcast 115 million people or whatever it was, 100,000 people in the stadium. I was like, holy shit, like this is a moment. You felt that for sure.
He's wearing all blue. There's hundreds of dancers doing the crip walk down below him. There's Impalas. Like, I just, oh my God. Everything about it was just like, my God. I just wanted to like call my parents and be like, see, I told you.
I was right all along.
Yeah,
God.
it was a lot of feels in a lot of good ways. It went by kind of fast because of all that, because like we said, the transitions were so smooth and there were so many artists. And yeah, then you throw in 50 Cent and, with everything, I was a little, and I think I wasn't the only one. I wasn't sure what Kendrick was doing at first, because, he's got all these dancers around him and they're all have their hair blonde. And I'm like, if he does some Eminem cover right now with Slim Shady, I'm going to be so mad, because I got a little concerned. I did. And then I saw a suit and I was like, hell yeah. Okay. All right. We're fine. We're fine. We're safe. We're Kendrick safe here. But yeah, just so many names. I don't know how you top that moving forward. I really don't. And I don't know for our generation if it's ever going to get better than it was. And I think, I think a lot of people enjoyed that, because I think, like, I forget which one of you said it, so many people were excited about this. When was the last time you could have said that about a halftime show where like a ton of people were legitimately excited about the artist or combination of artists or whatever it is? Is there some sort of divide somewhere? But this, aside from the old people, there was a lot of people excited for it, and it was well worth it. Very exciting.
Yeah, I feel like we're part of the reason there was so much excitement was because like we are kind of moving into that phase of life where we're like the majority of humans on the planet, like in some way, shape, or form participated in that musical era now.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're in like that 30s to 40s range where like that's the most of the humans on the planet. So like we could all get into that. So it was cool. You're right. It was also for me like, oh, so like this is when people were like excited about the Rolling Stones and shit. Like we're in that era of our life now. Okay. I see where
I know. I saw that. I saw a tweet like that. It's like, oh, I'm so glad the NFL finally woke up and stopped putting on halftime shows for old people like the Rolling Stones and Prince. And then it was like 5 minutes later, it was like, oh wait. This is us now. This is for us. This is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, we had my friend Christian and Crystal over for the game, and like we both have like young children, and they're like running around and stuff. And it was funny as we're watching it, we're like, man, like we're washed. Like this is because it was just we're enjoying this so much. It was just like, man, this is how people felt when The Who did the halftime show, or when Tom Petty did the halftime show when I was in college, and like we all like got up and like just I don't know did other stuff. Like we weren't even watching it. It was like, but now it's these are the people, because and Siobhan's like looking up the ages. She was like, how old is Dr. Dre? And I was like, dude, I'm scared to find out. 56. You know what I mean? It's like, how old is 50 Cent? 46. How old is Eminem? 49. Mary J's 50 something. Like we're looking at all these ages. It's like, yeah, like when we were growing up listening to their music, watching their music videos, like they were our age, like now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so crazy to think that. But I mean, I also love it though, because at some point the Super Bowl halftime show was going to have to reflect the most dominant genre in music, which is hip hop. And now they've done it, and they did it in like the most perfect way possible. But don't go crazy, guys, putting together a bunch of people who don't mean to be on stage together. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
There's one way you can get away with it. One way. You have one artist and a bunch of features. Next year's Super Bowl halftime show, Travis Barker.
Let's
featuring
go.
everybody.
Let's go.
Run it,
Featuring everybody.
everybody.
Well, I was just about to say, if we're in this comfy space, boys, if we're in this comfy space now, going back to the early 2000s and hitting the nostalgia feel, let's get a pop punk halftime show. Come on, let's get Blink. Let's get Newfound Glory. Let's get Sum 41. Let's get Yellow Card. Let's throw. Where's the next Super Bowl? I don't care. Let's bring them, get them there. People would like it. I would like it.
There's no better time to do it than right now. So next Super Bowl, it has to be that.
Yeah, and Travis will just drum for every band.
Everyone.
The whole time. Perfect.
The whole time. He'll just be going from place to place. You know, it'll just be running around. It'll be upside down. It'll be just everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm all I'm all for it. All right. The commercials, always the interesting thing. And on the Brunch Breakdown last week, I predicted something and it all happened. A lot of crypto, guys. A lot of crypto. So many commercials had to do with crypto.
Yep.
We've never talked about. Have we ever talked about crypto on this show? Are you guys into the monopoly money? What are you guys into any of this?
No, I follow a lot of, there's like a lot of people in the fitness industry who have started to push it and say like, yeah, you should just put a percentage of your money there for the potential benefits. But no, I don't earn at that level.
I'm going to assume those people either are really rich or don't have children.
Yeah, probably both. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Not me either. Like I know we talked about NFTs a while back. I had a off your chest segment about that. This kind of falls in that same category. I'm just like hoping and waiting for it to fizzle out because I don't want to understand it. And I realize it's kind of too late for that. So, but not currently, no.
Yeah, but that was one of the weirder parts of Super Bowl, but I wasn't surprised by it. Like LeBron has a cool commercial. All of a sudden, crypto.com at the end. There was the commercial with the bouncing QR code.
Like Microsoft. It was like a Microsoft screensaver almost. We had with the bouncing QR code. Yeah. And I knew it too. Or either me or Shannon, one of us called it right away. We're like, this is, and I go, and it's just going on, right? I'm waiting for that to go away. And I just go, gosh, damn it. I had to pull it up. I get my camera out and I like basically throw my phone down as soon as the website popped up, knowing that it's exactly what it was. That's the thing about those crypto commercials. Didi, you talked about it last week with like the weird ones. You're going to have Matt Damon doing something. And like, what are they going to do to stand out that isn't just weird? And yeah, they had the kind of screensaver one. You had the one with Larry David, which I thought was very funny. There had actually a company that went like kind of comedy with it, where he was like, on everything. He was playing that character from like the beginning of time all the way through and like, oh, you got to get in on this stuff. And he's like, I don't think that's going to actually work out. That was one that was actually funny, but yeah, there was a crypto and celebrities dominated the day for sure.
Yeah.
My daughter stops everything for two commercials when they come on TV. One is whenever the Geico gecko is on TV, like she stops everything and stares at that gecko. And then there's that Matt Damon crypto commercial. I don't understand why, but she stops.
He's gorgeous.
Everything.
He's gorgeous.
Yeah, she stares at Matt Damon, which I suppose, hey, like ladies love him. So I get it.
She's setting that bar high. I love it.
Shout out to QR codes though, man. Like they're fully back.
Because we can do them now.
You used to have to have an app, right?
It was so hard to use a QR code. Everyone had them on their menus and all this stuff. And I don't even know if people took them off their menus or our phones just caught up to them, because like I don't feel like they ever left, but like now we just are able to just point our phone in seconds, menus pop up, everything pops up. Before, when it was like, all right, you got the QR code app, like this is hard. Can you give me a regular menu? Jesus Christ, what are we doing here?
Yeah. I feel like Apple must have like bought into QR codes somehow, because all of a sudden, like the new iPhones and the iOS updates, the camera just reads it and automatically takes you there. And it didn't used to be that way before. And just so happens to be that like conveniently now you have you don't even have to unlock your phone to get to your camera. Right.
Nope.
So
Right.
Apple's in on this. I'm convinced.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about also some of our favorites. Crypto definitely dominated the day. The Bud Light Seltzer Flavortown Guy Fieri commercial. I completely lost it. I'm on the couch losing my mind because you don't expect it when you start. You're like, what are these people dressed like this for? Oh, man. And I hate that it was Bud Light and I hate that it was seltzer, but that one to me was so unforgettable and least expected. And I lost it. That was the one that I just lost it for.
Those are the moments that it makes it such a joy to watch live sports with Dan. Like I wish I could have been there for that.
Dude, I love Guy Fieri. Anytime he shows up for anything, I'm happy. And just to let you know, Bud Light seltzers, pretty good. Like really good, actually.
That's what
like,
I hear.
I mean, speaking of Flavor Town, they have lots of flavor in them.
That's important.
Yeah. So what else? What else did you guys? What are some of the few that stuck out to you? Some of your favorite or least favorite, I guess.
Well, I got to shout out both of you guys for texting me the commercials because outside of the halftime show, I watched none of the Super Bowl because we had a rough day in this household with children's happiness. But on the theme of nostalgia, I really enjoyed the Dr. Evil GM commercial. That was fun. I mean, it was just like amazing that they brought back everybody that was in that movie for that commercial. That I thought was remarkable.
Yeah.
So, shout out.
There are some commercials that I'm like, the employees for that company have to be a little mad if you ask for a raise the week before. Cause like, we're always talking about how GM's not making any money. GM is like doing not so well. And then like, I don't like Mike Myers isn't leaving his home for nothing.
Right.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, like Mike Myers is unbelievably rich. Like, I don't know what his net worth is, but like that guy, good Lord, the amount of movies he's got in the franchises that guy's in. So it's like that commercial had to be super expensive.
Oh yeah.
Just before they did anything else, just getting the people back. To do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I would tell you, when I watched that one, it made me think about a segment we did like a long time ago when we talked about how there's a marketing team somewhere just like dying to promote the next launch of Zima. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I was just thinking like GM has this marketing team who's been pitching this for probably like 10 years and finally they got to do it. And it was great. So shout out to whoever had this idea.
Perfect timing.
So my favorite commercial is the McDonald's commercial. Can I get
yeah.
Because every year there's at least one Super Bowl commercial that just like does the simplest thing. And it's like, why do we do that at the drive-thru? At every drive-thru. It doesn't matter where we are. Why? I know exactly what I'm getting every time I go to Wendy's. I get a number 6, get the spicy chicken large every single time I go. Why do I say, so can I get a number 6 with large Sprite and like, why do I do that? Like, why do we all do that?
It's true. It's genius. It was a genius commercial.
It's like whoever walked into McDonald's offices and was like, guys, I got the Super Bowl commercial. And this might be the same thing you were just saying. Someone's been saying that for 15 years. Like, this is it, guys. Forget Justin Timberlake and whoever else. Just like, this is it. Can I get a done?
Yeah.
Done.
It was brilliant. Yeah. I loved it.
And also that's the in that Kanye's the end of that commercial. And that is just the experience of being a Kanye West fan, which I've said on this show many times. All day long, Kanye was the most annoying person on earth. And then that commercial comes on, you're like, fuck it. You know that you're going to be the worst. And then you do that.
Yeah, right.
It's the most annoying thing in the world when you're just like, God damn it, Kanye. Like, I am done with you today. I don't want to see or hear your name And then, can I get a? You're just like, fucking. I love you, Kanye. What? We love you.
It was a great addition.
Yeah.
It was. That part really stuck out. That was a great addition to that ad. The Rocket Mortgage Barbie commercial with Anna Kendrick was genius.
Yeah.
And someone who's lived in that world was like, oh, this is great. This is great. And a lot of people certainly understand what they're going through with that. The Toyota Joneses with Rashida Jones, Leslie Jones, Tommy Lee Jones, and Nick Jonas.
Yeah.
Another amazing commercial. Dee, what did you think about that Lay's commercial? Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd, your boys.
What did you guys think about it? Because I hated it. So as soon as they came on the screen, I was like, well, here we go.
Yeah. So you're biased. Your opinion doesn't count on this. I will say, when I saw them, I thought this has great potential. And then I thought it didn't live up to said potential. It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't as laugh out loud funny as it should have been.
Yeah, I thought all right, because listen, it wasn't just Paul Rudd, it wasn't Paul Rudd in the commercial like last year where he almost ruined the commercial. This year, I'm like, okay, Tim, Seth, like, great, we'll see what happens. And then it just kind of went too over the top where I don't think it needed to do all that. Like they could have done it. I don't know. They could have kept it more grounded and it could have been funnier. I don't know.
I was waiting for that too. I was waiting for that moment to be really funny. And it just went from 0 to 60 after a couple of seconds. And it was like, what? Felt like I missed something. And like the big laugh payoff. I mean, it was funny, but definitely not as funny as it probably could be for those two actors that you're paying for. You expect the writers to maybe be a little stronger on that one. But anything else that stuck out?
I mean, it's a solid year. Commercials are
everybody was complaining. I don't know what everybody was complaining about.
Why do people complain about the Super Bowl commercials every year? Half of them are good, half of them aren't. It's just because it just all depends on what you like or what you're into. Because I don't like Paul Rudd. He's going to be in a Super Bowl commercial every year for the rest of my life. He will be in one looking exactly the same when he's 90 years old. It doesn't matter. Paul Rudd's look the same forever. But you guys like it. Then there's commercials that I'll like that some other people won't. It's like, not every commercial is meant for you.
Right.
And that's not how it is. Like, we don't watch shows on TV every other Sunday. Every other Sunday we watch football. We're not like, damn, that NCIS commercial sucked. Nobody cares. But then the Super Bowl, it's just we all of a sudden think that everything is meant to be for us. And it's just, that's not how it works.
Everybody expects the "wazza" from Bud Light to come back and just be earth-shattering level of commercials, and they all to be like that. Is just not the way it is. So I don't know what people complain about either, but I thought, it was a good year. Good year for commercials. Good game. Good
Please.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Show that "was up" commercial to anyone under the age of 20, and they will be like, "You guys had nothing to do back then, did you?"
This was the greatest commercial.
This is what you guys think was great? What?
I think we should bring it back. I think we should start saying that.
I'll tell you what, they will. They will. You wait a couple of years, I guarantee you, they call it back. It's our generation's time.
I think it's fine. I'm here for
get enough celebrities to all say "was just be like Drake "was up," Anna Kendrick "was up."
yeah. Genius.
Paul Rudd "was up." It just ruins the commercial. God. All right. Winter Olympics. Dan, you are live in Beijing. Coming to us with a report. Winter Olympics. How you thinking? How's everything going?
Dude, I'm loving it. I'm obsessed. It was a shame that football game got in the way on Sunday from watching some good old Olympics. I'll tell you that. It's been amazing. Literally watching nonstop. Shouts to Mike Tirico, who has been in China, then back to LA. He's not sleeping. The dude is unbelievable. He's absolutely unbelievable. So shouts to Mike Tirico for hosting everything on TV right now. But I love it. And I gotta know, I don't know how much you guys obviously haven't watched as much as I have, but what is your favorite Olympic sport to watch? If you pick one to watch, what's the most entertaining sport to watch Winter Olympics?
I just think it's kind of like Summer Olympics for me, where it's an opportunity for me to watch one sport in particular that I will never, ever otherwise watch. And like for the Summer Olympics, it's gymnastics. I will never, ever watch that otherwise. For the Winter Olympics, it's figure skating. I will never watch that otherwise. But like when the Winter Olympics are here, it is unbelievably fun to watch those skaters do that on ice, because I got a lot of experience on ice and most of it is falling down. So I highly appreciate what they do.
Yeah, I like the Winter Olympics because I can't even, like, I know it's like, you know, root USA, like whatever, but it's very hard to root for someone in a sport that like you have no idea if they're doing well or not. So when I watch the Winter Olympics, because the Summer Olympics is somewhat like that with gymnastics, you kind of know, but then like you kind of figure it out later on. But like with ice dancing, figure skating, like it took me 2 hours to figure out why Michaela Schifrin messed up on the slalom. Look, I was like, I don't understand why she quit. I'm like, she was going the same way everybody else was. Why'd she stop going? Why is she so sad? Why is she sitting there crying for 20 minutes on the snow and she won't get up? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just something about it. The Winter Olympics, I don't know what they're doing. So it's just, I'm fascinated by just not knowing what the hell they're doing. It's amazing. I love it.
Oh man, what the four of us have to get together in 4 years. I want to watch the Winter Olympics with Didi, because that is
yes
commentary. Screw Mike Tirico. Go and put Didi on TV. Like, I don't know what's going on, but this is great.
I don't know. Like, I have no idea. It's incredible.
Peacock's got 1,000 channels. We can take one of them and just broadcast the Olympics. Yeah. I'm all for that. You're right. The Olympic ones are more hard. The winter ones are more harder to figure out and not everything's structured the same way, right? Even if it's the same thing, like it's a time sport. It's like in some cases it's your quickest time. And in other cases we add all the times together. And then in another one, it's like we take your fastest and your lowest and average them out. And that's your time for this heat. It's like, I can't keep track of how these are all scored. And then figure skating, there's some difference between the free dance and the rhythm dance when there really isn't at all. One has a maximum scoring and the other one has like the average, and like green is good and red is bad. And just listen to Johnny Weir say these weird phrases. And I'm like, I can't believe they pulled that off. And I'm doing that all the time. Because there's a lot more falling in the Winter Olympics too than any other sport. You fall in the snow, that's rough. That's rough. I like watching the short track speed skating where they're like basically going around a lake right up against each other in that short track for the speed skating, because there's not many things in the Winter Olympics where there's like group timed races, right? There's just not that many up there. It's not like swimming and 1,000 things of running. And there's just not a whole lot of that in the Winter Olympics where everybody can race at the same time. So I love that. I love being able to watch this speed short track speed skating. But you can never go wrong with curling either. I think that's the one I'd want to try. Is there a sport you'd want to try the most in the Winter Olympics? If you were a winter athlete, what would be your go-to sport to compete in?
Cross-country skiing.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Dude, every year, every 4 years, dude. Nothing captivates me like people who are just skiing and then all of a sudden they got to pick up a gun out of nowhere. There's just guns laying there for them. And they shoot. And you're just like, what? Who has to do this? Like, what? Why are we doing this? I understand like having to run the fastest or jump the highest or do these flips. It's like, but why are they? And then wait, hold on. We got to stop and shoot. Then we go again. Oh, then we got to stop and shoot. I don't know. I find it just amazing. And like, that's my level of skiing as well. So it also looks like I can do that, even though I know I can't, but it looks like I could do it. Cause I would love to be like, yeah, like big air, or like do one of the things with where they're just flying through the air with skis. I wish I could do that, but I'm never going to try that. I've nothing, but like cross-country skiing, I'm here for it. And I feel like it's something you could set up a track and like if somebody has like a big yard when it snows, it looks like something you could just do.
Right. Yeah, that was done based off like a wartime ritual or whatever, like wartime training is what it was.
I mean, it looks like
training wartime in the winter where you're going uphill and downhill on skis and then shooting is where it came from. And only one American has won a medal in cross country skiing. And that was 100 years ago, the first time they did it. And he won the medal 60 years after the Olympics based on some technicality. It's amazing. The guy fortunately got to spend a couple of years of his life with the medal before he died, but it's just like the most wild thing. It's a long one to watch. That's a long one to watch, but I guess I'd rather watch that than like the marathon in the Summer Olympics. But I'm surprised you went with that. What about you, Chris?
I would love to bobsled. I think that would be a joy. And I apologize if there's lots of screaming in the background, because there is in actuality lots of screaming going on in the background. So we should probably go into music here soon. But I always wanted to say eins, zwei, and dry, and get somebody to push me down some ice. That's what I would love. So I would love to bobsled. And we're going to be watching that video or that movie this weekend in honor of the Winter Olympics. Cool runnings.
I like it. What sport would you do, Dan?
I think I really have gotten into this like slope style snowboarding and skiing, where it's basically like skateboarding in a skate park, where you have all these tricks that you do. And then there's these huge jumps at the end, not just like the one jump, but there's like the multiple jumps at the end. I'm fascinated by this. I really am. I know it's been newer to the games, but I would probably not like to fall though, because it's a pretty nasty fall, but I think it's an amazing sport. It kind of combines the half pipe. Look at Weezer here.
Put Weezer on the playlist. Throw him on the playlist. Let's go.
Put it on. The half pipe and like the actual racing with the snowboarding and the skiing too is pretty cool. But I love it, man. I love the Olympics. Last question I want to ask you guys is, we're giving out a bunch of medals. We need the USA to come up with a couple more. Would you rather win the Super Bowl or a gold medal? Individual prize, team prize. Arguably the biggest team prize on the planet. One of them, because I really don't count soccer. Sorry. But one of the biggest team prizes on the planet, or winning a gold medal. What are you going to go with?
Gold medal, because it's mine. It's mine. I take it home. It's mine. I won it myself. Screw the rest of my teammates. It's mine. Like Cooper Kupp doesn't get to take away the Super Bowl trophy.
Right.
Yeah. Same here. Gold medal, because it only happens every 4 years. Super Bowl happens every year. And like Didi said, it's mine to own forever.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys both went that way, because one of the arguments is like, not every gold medalist is remembered forever, but if you're like the quarterback of a Super Bowl winning team, you will be. But again, team award, individual award, gold medal all the way. And what a time right now to have them all of these events at the same time, the Super Bowl and the Olympics. I can't wait for 4 years from now when it happens again. Amazing time, people.
Well, let's head into what we're listening to this week. Chris, it's been very loud in your house. So what music are you listening to drown it out?
We're not going to put that on the playlist. What I will put on the playlist this week, big fan of the band Friend Circle. Put them on the playlist a couple times. They just put out a new single, Life of the Party. And this is a band that I've said before is kind of like a party punk band. And this song is maybe, it's called Life of the Party, but it's maybe like a little bit of a transition in sound. And I like it a lot. So we'll throw that on there this week.
Solid. What's up, Dan?
Doja Cat. We didn't even talk about this commercial, because the commercial was just okay. It was good. But she put out the cover of Celebrity Skin from Courtney Love and Hole from 1998 for the Taco Bell commercial, and released the single. And it is so good. So damn good. It's frankly better than the original. And I want more. I want more of this Doja Cat rock stuff. It works so well. I'm down for it. So got to go with that one. Celebrity Skin, Doja Cat. Amazing.
Sweet. Diplo and Miguel put out a song that I'm very frustrated they didn't put out a couple months later, because it still could be the song of the summer, but Don't Forget My Love. It's just picture yourself when you listen to this song, hit play, and just think about yourself being somewhere where there's water surrounding you. Like, that's all. and you're just in a party with people. Like Vegas, hell, Secrets in Ocean City, doesn't matter. Wherever you're partying, this song is perfect. That's it. Don't forget my love.
Dee Dee putting Miguel on the playlist. How predictable.
Dude, it's got everything I love. I'm telling you. Everything.
Since I was last on the podcast, Knuckle Puck put out their EP. It's called Disposable Life. They have a cover on there of a Blink-182 song, Here's Your Letter. And I actually like this better than the Blink-182 version of it. So we'll toss that on there. It's only a 5-song EP, and I've already put 2 of the songs from the EP on there. So we'll go with something a little bit different this week.
Joywave. I put these boys on the playlist a time or two in the past, and they had a brand new album that came out last week called Cleanse. And I'll put on the song We Are All We Need. And I've always liked their stuff, but over the past couple of years, they've really gotten stronger. They've always kind of had a weird or unique style or sound to them, but they really kind of embrace this zone that they're in right now. And it's really great. I love the direction they're taking things. The album is super good. Check it out. Joywave.
Nice. Future, who is literally the worst person to listen to on Valentine's Day, put out a song called Worst Day. And he talks about how terrible Valentine's Day is because so many girls want him to be there for him on Valentine's Day and he can't. So he talks about Worst Day, and it is amazing. If you are a douchebag, it's incredible. Like, shouts the Future, Worst Day. I'm telling you, this song, you'll just be like, wow, you are a special case, Future. Worst Day. It's amazing. The song's incredible, but the lyrics are just going to make you like, what the? Okay.
Nice. This is out of left field, but What's Love? Fat Joe and Ashanti. Every morning when I take my daughter to daycare, this song is on Star 100.7 on the radio because apparently they play the same songs at the same times every day. And I appreciate this one song. So shout out. We're going to put it on the playlist. It's a great song.
I'm already jamming to it. Like I'm already over here. Like, what's the got to do with it?
Yeah. You got Fat Joe with the hat just slightly askew. Come on.
Yeah.
Tear.
Wow.
Ja Rule Ashanti, the Super Bowl 2023. Done. Travis Barker can play the drums somewhere. That'll be the special guest. Ja Rule and Ashanti.
That's amazing. Last one I'm going to put on here. I'm going to make sure I pronounce this artist's name right. TK Maidsda. She's opening for Billie Eilish on part of her tour. And so last week when I was at the show, I got to hear her. She's a Zimbabwe-born Australian rapper. And she wasn't supposed to be the only opener for Billie Eilish, if you've seen any of the news. But she was, and she got the spotlight. And she's got a very unique sound to her. And so I'm going to put 2 songs on, Awake and Kim, which she just jams in a live setting. Really good. So I'll check those ones out. Let me know what you boys think.
All right. My last one, Haley Knox, Gucci, Prada, Balenciaga. Check this one out. Haley Knox, I interviewed this sweet little girl, like, I don't know, 4 years ago. She with her guitar singing little cute songs about emojis or something. She's grown up. This song is completely different and it is really good. It came up on a playlist and I was like, the same Haley? Oh, that's cute. Anyways, this song, really good. So check it out. Haley Knox, Gucci, Prada, Balenciaga. Ooh. And that is what we're listening to, boys. Any final thoughts on the Brunch Breakdown before we get out of here? Also, make sure you check out the playlist on Spotify.
Shout out to Aaron Donald, man.
Yeah.
Like
AD,
maybe
happy for AD.
Maybe the greatest defensive player ever now that he's won a Super Bowl. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah. Shouts to him. Shouts to the Rams. Happy for them. That was awesome. Hopefully he doesn't walk away. Sean McVay might walk away. Don't know what's going to happen there, but very happy.
The Rams needed this to make up for all the people that hated their uniforms. It's all okay now.
All right.
Very true. I need people to stop talking about Matthew Stafford like he's some great quarterback, by the way. Like, he's better than Jared Goff. That's all he proved this year.
Hall of Famer.
We're done here. He proved that. We're done. I'm out. It's the Brunch Breakdown.